Hello. Hi there. So, welcome to our free online live workshop. I know some of you are going to be watching the recording, so welcome. I'm Jo from Strength and Soul for those of you that I haven't met. And the way this workshop is going to work tonight is that I want to tell you the 6 myths that you are told, which is going to be blocking you from reaching that long-lasting health that we're all really looking for. And we're being marketed to and sold to all the time. And I want to just break down some of those myths from my experience, my training, and share with you some ways that you can become even healthier. And what we're going to do throughout the workshop is I will be sharing some slides and some information with you. If you do have any questions, there will be a Q&A at the end. But if you do have any questions, you'll see that there's a chat box and you're welcome to put them in there, and I will come back to those questions and answer them for you. So I can see we've got a few people on, so welcome. Got Corey and Elizabeth, Laura, Suzanne, lovely that you're all here in person live. So make sure you stick around and ask some questions. And for those of you that are interested, I'll be sharing a little bit more, if that's okay with you, on my new program, Nature's Route, which is an amazing new program I've launched kind of around these concepts to help you feel your absolute best with Ayurveda and yoga as well. So I'm really excited to get started and to share this with you, and hope we can make a difference to how you're feeling. So I'm going to share my screen with you. Give me a second while I share my screen. So while I'm sharing this, I'm not going to see the chat box, so I will come back to that if you've got any questions. I'm just gonna, yeah, here we go. We'll get started. So this is about 6 myths that you're told blocking you from achieving long-lasting true health. So this is true health that you can stay healthy, you can have what we want is like longevity. We want a long, happy, healthy life. So for those of you that don't know me, I'm Jo, and in the last 6 years, I've completely changed my whole life. I've recovered from hip impingement surgery, and I've used yoga and I've used kinetic chain release, and I'm 99%, maybe 98% pain-free. I get niggles, which I need to manage, but it's really helped me to understand myself, to become stronger, to feel so much better than what I did at that point. I've also quit my full-time job as a secondary school teacher, and I've started Strength and Soul with my husband Kevin, and we've got our barn in central Scotland where we're based from, and just really helping to support. Like, we've worked with hundreds of clients now through their own injuries, illnesses as well now through Ayurveda, and I've taught so many hours of yoga in all different bodies, shapes and sizes to deal with different injuries and tension and discomfort. So I'm really excited and hope that I can do the same for you and help you through anything that you might be going through at the moment. So Satya is translated to truth in Ayurveda, in yoga. It's the first limb of yoga, the second or third yama, I think. And basically it's about, like, I'm here to speak my truth, my experience, share my knowledge and wisdom, and really just, yeah, share what I know with you. Now, what I want you to do for this next hour is that we are so distracted all the time with our phone, with maybe you've got other people in the house, the TV's on, so if you can be somewhere quiet, you might want to grab a cup of tea, you might want a notebook to write a few things down, and just really be here and be present for this next hour, just devoting this time to you and devoting this time to your health. So Are you in the right place? Is this for you? What on earth am I talking about? So you might realise that you're not feeling your absolute best and you want to make some changes. You don't want to rely on pharmaceutical pills. Maybe you've been on medication for a condition and you know that long term that's not what you want to do. Maybe you're really unclear on what you want to eat, what supplements you want to take, you need to take, what the best thing to do is for your health. There's so much information out there that can be really confusing. And you just want to have all of these tools instead of guessing, so that you can navigate your way through to be the best version of yourself. So I'm going to start with a little exercise, and I want you to sit with your feet on the floor if you can, close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. And I just want you to allow yourself to feel what you feel. So sometimes we just have to kind of shove our feelings under the rug, deal with them later, just to get on with life, to fulfill all our responsibilities. So just take a deep breath in, exhale it out. Just scan your body. Notice your thoughts, your emotions. What are you feeling right now? So whatever comes up for you, I just want you to feel it fully. Notice any waves of emotion that come up. Just feel whatever you're feeling. Without judgment, without criticism towards yourself or others. Just find a way to meet yourself with some compassion, some kindness. If you notice any physical pain, just let it be there. Notice if it changes, notice if it moves. Whatever is coming up for you, meet it with some compassion and kindness. And if there's anything that's coming up for you, try not to hide it or push it away. Try and look at yourself as maybe looking at a young child who's wanting some support and some guidance. I want you to know that you're safe and you're supported. And fully feel what you're feeling. Allow it to be there. And breathe into anywhere you feel stuck, anywhere you feel pain, anywhere you feel empty or numb or exhausted. And breathe into where there's already space and joy and happiness. And just sit with that for a moment. And feel those feelings. And again, take another big deep breath in. And breathe out. Good, now open your eyes. And I want you to think of one word. What's the one word that describes how you want to feel? Now that may be energized. It may be pain-free. Whatever word comes up for you, peaceful, calm. And so if you want to share, please share in the chat box. I will come back to it. Yeah, just sit with that word for a moment. How do you want to feel? And just keep that in mind as we move through the workshop. So we're going to get started. So before we get right into the myths, I want to create some sort of background understanding of how your body works and how I look at things from an Ayurveda perspective. So we're going to look at the foundations, looking at digestion. Now, when we eat something, what happens is we put it into our mouth and it goes down the esophagus in towards the stomach. Now, if our digestive system is functioning properly, then the digestive fire will process whatever we've eaten, and it will take the nutrients from what we've eaten, and it will clear the waste away, and it will travel through the rest of the intestines and come out as waste. Now, obviously our digestive system, we're looking to take like that assimilation of foods. We want to take the energy so that it will build our body, build the cells of our body. And that relies on us having an appetite, it relies on the hunger being there, and it's reliant on the waste being able to function as well. So there's lots going on there that I could talk way more about, but we'll be here all night if I do that. Now, once the food comes into the stomach, what's happening here is, as well as the waste clearing and the digestive system doing what it needs to do, there's 7 different layers of tissues that our nutrition travels to. And those are our plasma, our blood, our muscle, our fat, our bone marrow, and seminal fluids. So we're looking for the food that we're eating to be able to nourish each layers of those tissues. It's looking to clear the waste away, so that's working nicely. And when that's all functioning properly, what that produces is a substance called ojas, which we're going to come to. So think about vitality. Now, when the digestive system is not functioning properly, it creates something called ama, and that basically translates to toxins. So I want you to think about, is your digestion good? Is there good regular bowel movement? Now, there's a lot of people that think their digestion's really good, but they get things like bloating or wind or occasional constipation or occasional diarrhea or maybe heartburn, and it's like, I get that, that's just something I deal with. Well, actually that's ama. It's a disorder within the body. We're not supposed to feel those things. So there's something there that is out of balance. And ama can show up in the body in the way I suggested, with bloating, constipation, diarrhea. It can also come as pain in the joints. It can be a lack of appetite, or even the opposite, where your appetite is really, really strong and you want to eat all the time. It can be eating foods and just feeling like they're not satisfying you. You've not got enough taste there. It can be tiredness, heaviness, sluggishness. It can be feeling like you've just got no energy, like enthusiasm to do anything. And unfortunately, these types of symptoms, a lot of us just ignore or hope they'll go away, or just put up with it being, well, that's actually normal for me, and it's not, it shouldn't be normal for you. If we don't deal with ama at this level, then it could translate into disease. So it could come into real kind of deeper things like endometriosis, polycystic ovary syndrome, infertility, cancer. It can affect your periods. It could be extreme symptoms of menopause, hot flushes, night sweats, difficulty sleeping, brain fog. It can also come out mentally in anxiety, depression. It can get into the joints for arthritis, and it can be things like recurring coughs, colds, flus. So all of that is showing your body that it's completely out of balance. It's out of disorder and creating disease in the body. Now, Ayurveda's got a different way to look at things, and satisfaction is really, really important, and we'll kind of get into some of the myths. And you know yourself, if you've ever done a diet in the past, or maybe a cleanse or something like that, definitely when I think about those things, satisfaction is not top of the list, but actually satisfaction is really important. And for order us to be satisfied, we need to have all of these 6 tastes: sweet, sour, salty, astringent, pungent, and bitter. And generally in the Western diet, we tend to have lots of sweet, sour, salty, and not very much of the astringent, pungent, bitter. And we should be having these tastes like every single day in order for us to feel satisfied. And you all know that feeling when maybe you've had a meal and afterwards it's, oh, I just need something else, I need a little something sweet, or you're maybe satisfied for an hour and an hour later you're back in the cupboards trying to find something else. Whereas I'm sure, and I use like Indian and Thai food as really good examples. If you've been to an Indian or Thai restaurant, how often do you feel like you need dessert after? Very rarely, because it uses all the different herbs and spices and all of these 6 tastes, so it gives you that level of satisfaction. Ojas is kind of a substance where, it's one of these, you can't really see it, but Ojas really is a healthy, glowing face. It's feeling really happy and content. It's a really perfect functioning digestive system. It's feeling like you've got strength and energy for whatever you want to do in your day. It's that your immunity. It's that vibrant health. It's feeling that blissful state. The body's functioning, the organs are functioning, the channels are clear, and that substance is what's known as Ojas. And we'll come back to that when we talk about immunity as well. So the 6 myths that you need to be aware of and stop believing. So the first one I think is huge, and I know there's still people out there that think about this, but calories is a huge one. So calories is not something that I ever think about. I used to in the past. Now, when I'm talking through everything that I'm talking about this evening, I have been there in that I have tried almost every diet, every superfood. I've experimented with finding the healthiest place for me to be. And Ayurveda, for me, I'm so passionate about it. It makes so much sense. I've seen how much it helps in my body and other people's bodies. And calories is not something that we ever talk about, think about. And calories were created, most of us think of calories as we have food, there's so many calories, there's so many amount of energy within the calories, and if we eat too many, we'll put on weight, and if we eat too less, then we've not got enough energy. And actually, if you Google the reason for calories or how they were created, it's just another method to put into a box to label food that doesn't actually make any sense. So it used to be that you would burn the food and you would measure the thermal energy, like how it was created into heat, and it just does not make any sense. And that, if I could spend again another 15-20 minutes talking about calories, but just if you actually go and have a little look and see how calories were created, and you'll understand that it doesn't actually make any sense. And what I want you to think about here is calories, they don't all look alike. So you can't really compare a burger to a porridge or almonds to gummy bears, which is what a lot of people tend to do. And they're saying if you take this food and you swap it for this, like, yes, you can have a handful of almonds and gummy bears and they are very similar in calories, but you know yourself that an almond is a natural grown product, whereas gummy bears is man-made, full of chemicals. So it's really difficult to even compare those at all. Now, I never look at calories at all. I never consider it at all. And I feel that for people who are counting calories, and you can let me know, like in the chat box, if you've had experience of this, is how you feel. But I think there's a guilt around it. You can't have that because it's too many calories and you're constantly looking at the packet. Now, what I suggest that you do instead is that I want you to pay attention to your natural urges. So, are you hungry before you eat? when it comes to breakfast, lunch, dinner time, is your digestive fire there? Are you hungry? Once you've eaten, do you feel satisfied by what you've had to eat? Or are you emotionally eating? So are you eating because you're tired, you're upset, you're angry, or you're eating because it's breakfast, lunch, and dinner time? And then are you overeating? So when you've had your food, do you just keep eating too much? And that can relate to, are you eating at a table and you're doing nothing else? So, or are you eating when you're talking to someone, when you are watching TV, when you're at your desk, when you're working, because then you're not very aware of what is going into your mouth. So you can manage your weight completely without counting any calories at all by paying attention to your natural urges when you're hungry, also when you're thirsty. And are you satisfied? Are you enjoying what you're eating? Are you conscious? Do you taste the food? Do you smell the food? And then when you've eaten, like, have you had enough? Are you still hungry? Do you need to eat more? Have you over it? Do you feel heavy? And it's really important. Your body tells you when you've had enough. We just have chosen not to listen to it anymore. Or your body tells you when you're hungry, but some people ignore that and carry on and work and get things done. So you may recognize some of those things that you're doing. And also, instead of counting calories, I will talk to clients about whether they're Vata, Pitta, or Kapha, which is what we're needing the different types of food. So Vata, for example, Vata people tend to be generally slim in their body type, and they don't tend to hold much weight. And actually, those are the ones that lose weight really, really quickly. And the qualities of a Vata is cold, light, rough, subtle, mobile. Dry is also another quality. So what they have to do is eat warm, moist, oily foods, stick to 3 meals a day, and avoiding snacking. They're the ones that tend to like pick and graze all day, or skip meals, or not really or maybe not really eat at all. And they really need to have more carbs to help ground that light energy as well. And then your Pitta person tends to be where like, I've got quite a Pitta body shape in terms of like medium build. I'm not really skinny, I'm not overweight. My weight doesn't tend to fluctuate, it's pretty stable. They can have really strong appetites, and they can tend to overeat if they're not eating the right things. The qualities, the fire and water elements, so the oily, hot, sharp, liquid, so their digestive system can be really strong, and they're very, very unlikely to skip a meal. In fact, they're generally the ones that say, I have breakfast at 7 o'clock, I have lunch at 12:30, and I have dinner at 6 o'clock. And they've got those kind of very specific meal times. And they need to stick to those meal times, but avoid any oily and hot foods, like foods that are too spicy, citrus fruits, those kind of things. And then your Kapha is your earth and water. And those tend to be like heavy, sticky, static kind of qualities. So unfortunately, Kapha people tend to be the ones, not unfortunately, sorry, that's not right. They tend to be the ones that put on weight easily, but they are more like fuller bodied. They've got a really strong, supportive, like bone structure, and they love their food. They love to cook, they love to eat, but they can overeat and they can snack lots. So sometimes for a Kapha, they benefit from having only 2 meals a day. Maybe their hunger doesn't really kick in until like 11 o'clock, 10, 11 o'clock. So they could have a later breakfast or kind of early lunch, and then have dinner maybe 6 or 7 o'clock in the evening, depending on your schedule, of course. And they're better having like light, warm foods, such as like brothy soups or warm salads, but not having any snacks is really important for them. And then supplements. So supplements is another myth. we've all gone a bit supplement crazy, to be honest, and there is companies, you know, providing lots of supplements and encouraging you to take various vitamins and minerals, and there's lots of also people that are diagnosing themselves and taking vitamins and minerals because they've read somewhere that it has a quality that they need, like it's going to be anti-inflammatory or give you energy. And actually, I mean, I have done it in the past. I will say I have been guilty of doing it in the past, but then I have gone to see different people, different naturopaths. I've got my own Ayurvedic doctor that I still go and see. And it's really important to take the advice of a professional, because if you make the decision to just take supplements on your own, you could actually be making your condition even worse. And I want to share with you one of the big trends at the moment, which is a complete market employ. So the other thing, supplements, they don't always work. So sometimes we are feeling a certain way and our first thought is, I'll take that supplement and that'll deal with X, Y, and Z, when actually we should be looking at dealing with your diet, making some changes to your lifestyle. Sometimes the cause of a condition is actually nothing to do with the way you're eating. It can be the way you're working, it can be your lifestyle, it can be living in the wrong way, rather than something that you're physically putting into your body. So I'm really hoping that nobody is taking any turmeric capsules. Turmeric is a fantastic spice, but I think there's so much misinformation given to it in the media, and I'm seeing turmeric capsules being sold for £20+ when you can get turmeric powder that you can cook with for like £3.49. So your health really doesn't have to cost you a lot of money. So all of the benefits of turmeric are absolutely true. It's an anti-inflammatory, it relieves pain, it can help with PMT, it helps the heart, the circulation, it helps the digestive system, and they're saying it can prevent cancer. However, turmeric has the qualities of heating and drying. So for people who are like Vata Pitta in their kind of natural constitution, where they have a lot of heat and they have a lot of dryness in their body, it can cause extra inflammation. It can dry out the joints, it can dry out the skin. It can be far too hot for the digestive system, causing more heartburn or diarrhea or stomach upsets. And it can also thin the blood. So depending on your condition, you need to be really careful with turmeric. The best way to work with turmeric is that you need to counteract the heating and drying qualities with some other spices. Turmeric also requires black pepper to help it to digest, or the cooling qualities such as in milk. So a lovely drink is to have a warm milk, and it can be any type of milk, with a pinch of cinnamon, cardamom, nutmeg, ginger, and a little bit of turmeric. And that's a really lovely milk to have that can help with anxiety, it can help with sleep, and your body's getting all of those 6 tastes, so you're feeling satisfied. Or even just simply cooking with it, with other spices such as cumin, coriander, fennel seeds. If you're making a curry, you might want to add in some coconut milk into that, and that'll counteract all of the negative effects. So Ayurveda medicine has this, where when various medicines are put together, they're acting like a buffer, so it can take your medicines to the place that is most needed, or it can counteract some of the negative effects of other kind of herbs and spices. Turmeric is also excellent like externally, so really good for like skin, for inflammation. So I've shared a little homemade kind of face mask that you can make with a little bit of turmeric powder with some coconut oil, and you can make that into a paste and then mix it together with some yogurt, which is really cooling, and apply it to your face, leave it for 5-10 minutes, wash it off, and it can be good for spots, it can be good for rosacea, where you get that kind of redness all across the skin. So it can help to heal wounds and things as well. So externally, it's a fantastic spice to use. So I've got another couple of remedies for you. Well, we're only kind of supplements to share. I don't take any supplements other than my Ayurvedic herbs that I'm taking to balance my digestion and work on balancing my hormones. So I do take some herbs for those. Otherwise, I don't take any other addition like B vitamins, or I did take vitamin D a couple of years ago, but I've really not felt like I've needed it this year, so I didn't take it. And also, if you're going back to digestion, if your digestive system isn't functioning properly, then your body's not going to be able to take and absorb all of the nutrients from that. So it's better that you're getting all your nutrients through the correct food, the correct diet, the correct lifestyle. And your Ayurvedic herbs for a while will just help to balance all that and help your body to function back to the way it should. So first remedy that I would advise most people to do, everyone can do this, but just a little bit of caution with anybody who is very vata, anybody who gets really cold, who has like really dry skin, and if you have like osteoarthritis. But for most people, this is absolutely fantastic. It's cooling, it's hydrating, it helps with circulation, digestion. I've got a typo, I've just noticed, that's removes swelling, helps to balance hormones. And it's really simply getting some coriander seeds, crushing them, soaking 3 teaspoons overnight in a glass of water, and then first thing in the morning before eating or drinking anything, strain the seeds and then drink the water, and then just wait some time before you drink anything or eat anything. If you are someone who's extremely vata or find that you're really cold, and I've been doing this a bit through the winter, is that you can boil up the seeds with a few slices of ginger and let it simmer for 5 to 10 minutes and then strain and drink it. And it doesn't have so much of the cooling qualities. So other people who do experience heartburn or acid reflux or hot flashes, then coriander water is fantastic as it is. The second remedy that I would suggest for you is a cumin and a honey remedy. So this is really going to help to stimulate your digestion and help your what's called your agni, your digestive fire, to be there so that it can like assimilate your food and it can improve your metabolism, improve your body's ability to take the nutrients from your food. So roast cumin seeds in the pan without any oil, and once the smell comes up from those seeds, turn it off, let it to cool, and then crush into a powder. And then you can keep those in a jar, and you want to have a bit of honey onto a spoon, like maybe 1/4 teaspoon, 1/2 teaspoon might be too much. You might want to try 1/4 first, and then you can work up till 1/2. And then dip that into the powder and eat it before your meals, and that'll just help to stimulate your digestive system before. Wait 5 to 10 minutes, or maybe 10 to 15 minutes before you eat anything, and you should find that your hunger starts to come from that. Okay, now these are some of the most supplement superfood trends that I've seen over the past few years, and I have been so guilty of jumping on board with them. And now I've gone back to just real basics, real home cooked, good foods, which is right for me, for my doshas, for when I kind of feel myself out of balance, and I can shift with the food and the way I live my life as opposed to taking a supplement for it. And just remember, you're being marketed to all the time. So people are trying to sell you your products and providing you with some hope, sometimes false promises, a quick fix, which we're all, wish there was a quick fix, really do, but there's not. It does take time to get to that long-lasting true health. The third one is exercise. Now, again, I bought into this, and I used to think I could exercise my way to health, and you can't. Exercise is still important. It's important that you find something that you love to do. I've said yoga is not exercise, it's more than exercise. And for those of you that come to classes, you'll know you incorporate breath, meditation, philosophy. And it's not just about eating less and exercising more. The actual getting to weight loss is so much more than that. So one of the biggest things is balancing your parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system. So your fight, flight, your rest and digest. And sometimes, you know, we are in a society where we overwork, we do too much. And if you have got stress in your body and you are doing exercise that's increasing that stress, then you're stressing out your nervous system even more. Whereas in my experience from working with myself and from working with clients, yoga helps to balance your sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system, where it will stress you. You know, if you come to class and I'm holding you in a plank pose or a downward dog or warrior, or even when you're trying things like handstands or headstands, or even some really simple postures can be really challenging, but then your nervous system's coming back down at the other time in child's poses, meditation, shavasana, yoga nidra, where you are allowing your nervous system to come back down, and your body can know that yes, there's going to be a challenge, but also how it feels to come back out of that. And exercise doesn't necessarily always give you that option. Sometimes it's a climb, and there is no coming down for the nervous system. So exercise is fantastic. I still love various types of exercise myself, but I do work in a completely different way. I would rather walk now than run. I don't have a gym membership. I would rather practice yoga. I would rather go on my paddleboard. I'd rather swim, because it feels better for my digestive system, for my nervous system, for my soul. It feels better. And always remember, like attracts like, opposite balances. So if you're a Vata type of person, your energy is naturally like up and down, and Vata people have that mobile quality, and they want to be the ones that are horse riding, that are running, that are just moving all the time. And actually, you need the opposite to balance. So what you need is yin yoga, restorative yoga, yoga nidra, the walking instead of running. And if you don't believe me, try it for a week, try it for 2 weeks and see how you feel. Be really truly aware of how you feel, because what tends to happen is our mind takes over from the wisdom of the body. We don't listen to the wisdom of the body, and we listen to the mind because we think that's what I should be doing, that's what's going to make me fit, that's what's going to make me healthy, rather than really feeling it. What effect does this have, and how do I feel? If you are more a Pitta type of person, generally they're very competitive. So they're the ones that will be pushing themselves even more, trying to do much better. And not to say not to do that, but bring some balance of cooling and calming, such as yoga, swimming. Being near water is really great for Pitta to be able to cool and calm them down. Or do something really playful where there's not a competitive part to it. And then your Kapha person, this is Kevin, needs the opposite. So he's the one that actually doesn't want to go running, but he needs to go running, where he needs some more high intensity, because otherwise Kapha are likely to get really tired and sluggish and put on more weight. So actually they need some of that really kind of high intensity type of exercise. So it all depends on your constitution and who you are and what you need. So it might be worth trying to experiment and do something different and see how this feels. Don't do what you think you should be doing, but try and listen to the wisdom of your body. So cleansing and detoxing. So this is one that some of you in January might have thought, I need to cleanse, I need to detox. For me, that word means that I'm going to starve, I'm going to be hungry all the time, the food is going to be bad, plain, or boring. Or maybe you think, well, I already eat healthy, I don't need to cleanse. So often we think if we can be healthier, or we want to be healthier, we want more energy, we want less pain, we think we have to cleanse. But for me, cleansing and detoxing has those kind of things. And I would be really interested to see what your thoughts are. Do you feel that way when you think of a cleanse and a detox? When we look at, now the body has got a natural cleansing system. We don't actually have to do anything because our body's cleansing and clearing all the time. But when I do a kind of reset with Ayurveda, I make sure that I have got all 6 tastes and make sure I'm going to have meals where I feel really satisfied, but it's also easier for my body to digest. So, for example, basmati rice is really, really good, really simple for your body to digest. And if you overcook it slightly, then it makes it even easier for your body to digest. So having things like that, having some fruits, so taking away some of the heaviness of maybe having like breads. Not that breads are actually better than what you think they are for you, but having some fruits that are maybe stewed with some spices. And I would be making sure that I'm eating when I'm hungry and stopping when I feel not full. You want to leave like kind of a third of your stomach empty. But the Ayurveda approach to a cleanse and detox is that our body does part of that, or does most of that. We're just providing our body with the correct, easily digestible foods to help assist that process. And maybe taking a couple of the supplements or the remedies like the coriander water and the cumin and honey, just to help your body a little bit more with that process. If you've had coughs, colds, flus, or you've been through a period of stress, it's taking it really easy on the body. Whereas if you're having raw foods or juices, that's actually quite difficult for your body to digest. So Ayurveda views it in a completely different way. And the other big myth is that you should drink more water. Actually, that's not true. According to Ayurveda, we should be drinking when we are thirsty. And again, hands up, I was guilty of the person that always had a big bottle of water with me all the time, and I was constantly drinking lots and lots of water because that's what we're told. When I started Ayurveda, I stopped that. And what I did was paid attention to my natural urges. So for the first time for years, I realized when I was thirsty, because I hadn't felt that for such a long time. So we've got this own regulatory system in our body that tells us when we are thirsty, and that's when we should be having a drink, and we have stopped listening to that. So it's really important that we are drinking. And also Ayurveda talks about not just drinking water, but warm water is much, much better for your digestive system. If you think your digestive system, your stomach has a little fire, a little ability to help take your nutrients from your food, if you are drinking cold water and ice water, what's happening is you're diluting that digestive fire. And that means that your body's not able to absorb the nutrients as well. So you might find that you're not hungry, like your appetite is gone, and you're drinking more and more water, and actually you need to drink when you are thirsty. So over the next week or two, start to do that. Start to only drink when you're thirsty, and see if you can notice your own mechanism inside your body that gives you that ability to recognize when you actually need to drink. Yeah, and depending on, obviously we're all different. If you're really active, if you're in the sun, if you've got medical conditions, the amount of water that you can take will differ slightly. So there are, on a day-to-day basis that might differ slightly, but pay attention to your natural urges. And then the last myth is all about improving your immune system. So when we think of our immune system, quite often we think of like needing more like vitamin C or needing more vitamins, but actually your immune system doesn't necessarily caused by the food you're eating or bacteria. It can be you have negative emotions. It can be you're eating the wrong foods. It can be doing the wrong type of exercise. It can be to do with genetics. And if you've got a really strong digestive system, you should be able to clear away any kind of disease that's, any bacteria that's in the air. Touch wood. I very, very rarely get coughs, colds, flus. I very rarely get ill because I've developed that really strong digestive system, which is filtering through all those 7 layers of tissues: your plasma, your blood, your muscle, your fat, your bone marrow, your seminal fluid, and that translates to OJAS, which is your immunity. Yeah, so strong immunity is actually a product of your strong digestive system. It's all the functions of your body, your hormones, your liver, your digestive system functioning properly. And the word OJAS, the Sanskrit word, it means vigor. It's strength, vitality. So that's where your immune system comes from. Most of us think, I need to improve my immune system, I need to take some vitamin C, but actually you need to improve your digestive system first. So some of the ways, if you're feeling like your digestive system's out of whack, your immune system is really low at the moment, what you can start to do is take some really easily digestible foods. So as I said, basmati rice. I've got a lovely rice porridge recipe on the blog on the website for breakfast, which is a really great way to start your day if you're feeling really low or you've got coughs and colds, and over winter it's fantastic. And adding some spices to your food: cumin, fennel, coriander, turmeric, ginger, black pepper. That's a really good way to enhance your digestive system. Making sure the food that you are eating is seasonal, it's nourishing, it's warm, cooked, and avoiding any fasting in winter. The only people that should think of any kind of fasting is the Kappa person who might have 2 meals a day, and that gives them a bit longer in between their meals for their digestive system to kind of clear and process that, because they tend to have slow, heavy, like kind of sluggish digestive systems. And a warm bath, particularly this time of year, putting some oil on the skin or some oil in the bath, is really good to help to open up the pores, help with the circulation, to improve your immune system as well. So that's the kind of 6 myths that I feel like we hear over and over and over again. And I hope I've helped to give you a different perspective and a different kind of understanding of those. I would really love, I'm just going to stop sharing this for a second. I would really love to share a little bit more about Nature's Root Programme, to really help you to understand like my method and what I do through Nature's Root and through Ayurveda, to really help you clear the pathway to feel your absolute best, to do everything that I've just been talking about. So is that okay if I just go ahead and tell you a little bit more about Nature's Root? Put a little yes. I can see you chatting if it's okay for me to go ahead and tell you about my Nature's Root programme that I'm really super excited about. Excellent. So I'm going to share my screen again, and then I'll come back and answer any questions. So let me come back to sharing my screen. So when you are feeling any kind of imbalance at all, we're not supposed to feel imbalanced. We're supposed to be happy and vibrant, and we're supposed to live to like 100 years old. So this is what I'm seeing as my path to perfect health. And as I've said all throughout this live workshop, it's all about improving your digestive system first. It's about stimulating your agni, your digestive fire. It's about making sure that you clear away your waste. I'm actually quite shocked about the amount of people who don't go to the bathroom for number 2 every single day. You should be going every day and clearing away that waste. Otherwise, it's still inside the body, still inside the system. And it's eating the right foods at the right time and the right way. And that all depends on your natural constitution. So Kevin and I eat very differently. I need to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I know when I'm imbalanced, when my Vata's too high, and then I tend to work too much and don't eat. I kind of skip meals. Whereas I like my breakfast in the morning. Kevin doesn't get his hunger until sort of 10, 11 o'clock in the morning. And then I need to have lunch, whereas he's quite happy waiting until like dinner time for his main meal. So it's about making sure that you're eating your foods in the right way. And that's not something that we're told about. That it's all about, for some people, you must have breakfast, you must have lunch, you must have dinner. And some of the foods that we think are healthy are actually not healthy for us at all. So things like a pitta person having tomatoes, honey, citrus fruits, they all seem really healthy, but actually that's causing them so much more inflammation in their body. And moving your body in the right way, like I want to teach you, not just share yoga practices with you, but teach you how to practice yoga, what styles is right for you. And really this is a lot about education so that you really understand your own body, and you've got a whole range, not just coming to a physical yoga class, but you've got a whole range of postures, meditations, breathing techniques, and sharing much more about the philosophy behind yoga as well. I want to improve your sleep, and I want you to create home remedies instead of using over-the-counter pharmaceuticals, and also learning really quickly to prepare good, nourishing food, how you can shop, how you can prepare foods really quickly and easily. So some of you might have heard this, like give a man a fish and he will eat for a day, teach a man how to fish and you'll feed him for a lifetime. This program is over 6 months because I'm really trying to work through all those 7 layers of tissues, and it takes 30 to 35 days, and any changes that I'm going to make, it takes 30 to 35 days for that to travel through your system. So I want to see 5-6 cycles of those changes to see what effect that's having on your body. So you're rebuilding your body from each level of tissue, and educate you on why I'm doing that, so that after the 6 months, you understand yourself so much better, you understand Ayurveda, and you know how to live in the right way for you. So I was working with a client who went from 40 hot flashes a day to none. Right? She was really, really struggling with that. And when we were working through our herbs, through our diet, our hot flashes went, our bloating went, she was feeling incredible. Gail, also, her skin, nails, hair, she lost weight without trying to. So that's one of the things I don't tend to lead with, is that I'm not here to focus on losing weight, but what will happen is your body will find its natural way, the way it's supposed to be. For some people, that's putting weight on. For other people, it's losing it. And the difference I've seen in Gail, she's really calm and content. less anxious, more energy, and you know, she's just really, really thriving right now, really understanding herself so much more and able to switch and change her foods to work with whatever she's feeling within her body if she goes out of balance slightly. So it's about creating a lifestyle. This is more than just eating a certain food. It's about creating a lifestyle around how you really want to feel. So within the 6 months of Nature's Route, and I've made it 6 months because that's really how long it's going to take to make this true lasting change. I'm going to teach you as much as I can about Ayurveda. There's going to be and one of the things, the biggest things that I wanted to make this course is that it can be in person if you are local, but it can also be done like this kind of way where we'll connect via video and I can see you, you can see me, and we can chat online. So it takes away location, it takes away traveling, so it's just making it so much easier for you. And as well as that, I've got a whole online library of resources. There will be yoga practices, there will be meditations, there will be relaxations, there will be, personally, we'll chat about your Ayurvedic medicines and I'll send those directly to your door and give you specific diet sheets and meal suggestions to follow. We'll be sharing lots of recipes online for you to access. We'll have weekly calls together like this where there'll be a video, but there'll also be like video where we can see each other and we can ask questions. There may be something specific I need to teach on a specific topic. And there's also going to be a medicine cabinet, which means I will give you a whole host of different herbs and spices and a whole host of remedies which help from bloating, wind, acne, insomnia, different skin disorders, a whole range of things that you might go normally to a pharmacy to get, and I'm going to teach you how you can make them at home and work with herbs, spices, rather than using pharmaceuticals. There is absolutely a need for pharmaceuticals at some time, but for things like coughs, colds, heartburn, you know, a few digestive problems, there's really simple remedies that work very quickly. We'll also look at seasons, so how Ayurveda has got daily routines and seasonal routines, so it's looking at how we can work seasonally, not working against nature, but with nature. And I really want you to connect with other people who are on this journey so you don't feel like you're on your own. And we'll have a couple of day retreats on those 6 months at the barn, and we'll also have some regular meetups in person so that you get to see each other. We might have certain workshops. I think I'm going to get Kevin to do a cooking class. So it's really giving you everything within the 6 months to give you the best place to create that path to perfect health, which looks different for everyone. And there's a few bonuses that I'm going to give you because I've been filming some online courses. So the first one is an introduction to yoga. So even if you've never practiced yoga before or it's been a while to practice yoga, then I've got an introduction to yoga that takes you through breaking down some of the postures so that when you access some of the other yoga practices, it all completely makes sense. I've also filmed Yoga for Mental Health and you'll get access to that course as well, which I'm really excited about this course because it's fantastic. I also have an online course which I launched last year called Rejuvenate, which is relaunching again in March, springtime, and that course is £598 and you'll also get access to that course as well. And then day retreats, there's going to be 2 day retreats within the 6 months that you'll be invited to also. So really amazing bonuses within this. So I really, throughout this, as much as it's teaching you and educating you, I want to be there to support you throughout the whole journey so that we're not just seeing each other in between appointments, but if you've got any questions, there'll be unlimited email support, but on a weekly basis, we'll have the opportunity to connect, to ask any questions so that I can explain, you know, anything that you might be feeling or questions you might have along the way. And sometimes it's just like I feel this is not working, and that's why it's not going to happen overnight. Unfortunately, there is no quick fix to health. It's about really doing the work. And I'm not going to be there to support you through the whole way, because I've been there myself. So the investment for this course is, over 6 months, is £2,000, which can be a one-off payment, or you can pay 6 payments of £360. And I only have 8 spaces available for this. I'm going to be working with just 10 people. It's not going to be for everyone. It's for someone who is really looking for that long-lasting change, who's ready to commit for those 6 months, but really wants the additional support and guidance along the way. So if you feel like it's for you, we can book a call and we can have a free consultation where you can ask all your questions and we can chat much more, or you can send me your email address and I can be in touch that way. So the next stage is really booking a call so that we can chat and see if it's really for you, if you're really ready to go. There are obviously other ways that we can work together. There are consultations if you can make it in person. I have got retreats and my online courses are coming, but I really do feel like this is giving you absolutely everything. I'm trying to condense 6 years of what I've learned and teach you in 6 months so that you can feel the way that I'm feeling as quickly as possible. So, is there any questions at all that you might have? I've gone a few minutes over, quite impressed. Has anybody got any questions at all? Please type them in the chat box. And even if you don't have any questions, but you think of any questions, after this is going to be sent out to you in a recording so that you can watch it again. I'm really happy for you to get in touch with me if you do have any questions. And also, if you would want to join Nature's Root, I would really love you to be part of our programme. You can get in touch as well. So I don't think there's any questions so far. Yeah. Thank you so much to everybody that has joined in live. I really hope that that has been helpful, that you've enjoyed it, that you've got something out of it that you can really take away right now and work with. As I said, if you've got any questions at all that you have that pop up, just send me an email. Our email is info@strengthandsoul.co.uk. You can go to strengthandsoul.co.uk/naturesroot, and that will take you onto the page where you can book a call, or if you're ready to sign up, you can sign up and we can get started straight away. But thank you so much for tuning into this live workshop. I hope to do more in the future, and I really appreciate you taking your time on this lovely Tuesday night. And thank you all so much, and sweet dreams. Go and make your warm milk and have a lovely good night's sleep, and thank you.